So as you can see, I've got 2 pieces now, and honestly, they'd be good enough to use. There's a slight difference there, but we're gonna say we're perfectionists here. Line these up, make sure our lines are in touch, which they are, come through, line that up, and there's a couple ways you could do this now. Number 1 is you could continue going with the plane. But if you're not happy with the way you are and you're having a bit of trouble with the plane, I'll give you a quick demo on what I do with the plane. Is number 1, I'd line those up, make sure they're nice and tight together. I'd just grab that plane and I would just carve away until I was happy with that. And that's pretty much done it. That would be the quickest way to do it. But if you're not confident with the plane, and I'm here to make you succeed, this is when we might pull out a few things, but we're gonna go with our trusty Makita sander. I like the ones with the handle on the side, it's up to you. Here on this one, you've got your speed dial from 1, barely moves at all, to the 5, and she's fairly flying. Now, of course, your sanders take a sanding pad. If it's a black bottom, that has not got a sanding pad on it, and it means we're gonna have to replace this very soon if you've used it. So please go through, make sure that the holes line up. So it takes a little bit of time sometimes, the holes line up, and go for it. Now you could use, I'm using a 40 grit sandpaper, it's very aggressive. You definitely could use an 80 if you're wanting to remove just a smidge amount of material. You turn that on, and your aim is to keep it nice and flat. Go back and forward. Getting it back and forward, making sure not to touch the black lines. You can't touch them. Holding a nice, steady, even pressure. Once that's done, and for mine now they're the same height, nice and even, we're going to change sandpaper. So we're moving from a 40 and we're going to go to an 80, and then you'd progress on up to 120 and 240. And the reason for that is because we're going to come through and we're going to make sure that this is nice and smooth to touch as well. Nice and smooth. Now, of course, using 120, 180, 240, potentially 360, you're going to get a much smoother finish. But you need to work your way through the grits, because with sandpaper, it does very coarse scratches in it at 40 grits to remove the material. Then at 80, it does slightly smaller scratches. And so it removes those coarse ones and puts smaller scratches. Then with 120, it does even smaller scratches and slowly gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you're really polishing it. But that's those done. Now remember, you need to have 4 of your legs done like that to make sure that they're nice and even and the same. If you want to check, always line them up on the back, on a flat surface, and you'll be able to suss that out. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.